Live. We're going live. I am live. I'm going to go ahead and throw this up on Twitter, excuse me, as I'm trying to figure out what's going on right now. So I as Akhtar is live on youtube.com. You know, you've seen it, you've heard it, you love it. No, you don't. Whatever. Right now I'm going to tweet this out that I'm live on Twitter, and I'll pop that up real quick. Live streaming over on YouTube. All right. Let's have a chat. Shall we? Sit down. Let's go ahead and find where this thing is. So it's been a while, folks. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. So today is July 12th. It's Tuesday. You can see my beautiful shot here. You can see, look at this lamp. This lamp is amazing. Look at this cable. See that? Lack of cable management right there. That's beautiful. It is July 12th. It is 1:15. I am Ayaz Akhtar. I am waiting for a delivery. So I figured, hey, why not just shoot the breeze? I was over on Twitch for a little bit. Oh, I'm zooming in. I was over on Twitch for a little bit, just trying to maybe get back into this live streaming thing. Not sure if this is what I want to do. Not sure what I want to do. I should write a better tweet because the tweet actually, what I'm actually doing is better than that. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, so maybe I'll put this over here. This is fun stuff. So maybe I can see. We got one viewer. Hello, if it's Gotham Heights, good to see you over here too. Pondering my future. Come by and suggest things. So if you're here, I'm going to reward you for being here. Thank you for being here. So I'm Ayaz Akhtar. You might know me from things like this channel. You might know me from other places. But the thing is, what's happening right now is I have no plan whatsoever. I used to be at CNET, and I say used to be because I have been gone from CNET as of June 16th, 2022. So I'm trying to figure out what I should do next. And I really don't know what I want to do. So as you guys have seen me or know me, if you're following me on my personal channel, you kind of know who I am. If you don't know who I am and you're following me, thanks for doing that. I don't know why you're doing that. But my life has taken me into a lot of weird places. And one of the best things I've gotten to do is work in technology for the past 15 to 16 years, covering it. And I've done it. I've done writing. I've done scripting. I've done video work. I've done audio work. I've done studio work. I've done camera work. I've done editing work. I've done all that stuff. I've been from end to end. I have worked on video and technology stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, I have no idea what I want to do next. Technology is something I'm very comfortable with. Technology is something that I quite enjoy. I really love technology. And the reason why I loved it when I was a kid, it's because it brought me somewhere else. It was this gateway into a different world, right? That's great. It's fantastic. And when I say fantastic, I mean that's like a fantasy. It's like this is not a real thing, right? You can't just go on this machine and send an email over, right? That's what does that cost? It doesn't cost anything. There's no postage. Well, the thing is, as I am on my own, I will be doing some things online. I don't know exactly what. I don't know if I want to do full-time online work. I'm kicking around some freelance and stuff. I'm thinking about doing this old nerd again, and I've said that before, and I don't know. That's the thing. So when I was starting out a long time ago, one of the things that made me do any of the stuff that I used to do is that I had this incessant voice in my head that would say, do this thing, do this thing, do this thing. No, it wasn't somebody else. It was an internal voice that made me do stuff. So when it came to, here's a dumb example. I had this thing in my head that said, hey, man, you want to be Wolverine for Halloween? And this was back in college. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And then this voice would not shut up for months and months and months and months. This voice would just keep going, right? So what it did was it made me eat right. It made me work out regularly with my friends. I got into pretty good shape. I tried to build a costume over several months. I grew my beard out, and this is college me. So this thing didn't look anywhere near as good as this. It looked all patchy. And I shaved this part off right for Halloween. So I had the Wolverine mutton chops. My hair was long. I did the whole thing. And the voice in my head said, yeah, it's a great idea. And when I would play guitar, I had a voice in my head that would scream at me, hey, what is this? a voice in my head that was screaming me, "Hey, you like playing guitar? Learn this song." It's like, but my hands are starting to bleed. No, play this song, and I would keep playing and play and play and play, and I loved that. I got good at it. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to play more music. I had a 4-track machine thanks to my dad. He let me buy one sometime in the 90s, I want to say. And it was a 4-track tape machine, and I got to plug in and play every instrument, drums, guitar, bass, play my own songs. Can't sing for anything, so didn't sing on the tracks, but it was really fun for me. So that I had this drive to do that. And then when I wanted to do video, I had this voice in my head say, "You have to do video. You can't not do video. You have to do video. You have to," and it would just burn a hole in my head that I had to do this thing. To shut this voice up, I would do it. I would just simply make videos. I used to work with my friend, my best friend in the world, and we did a bunch of stupid videos together. We did a podcast, an audio podcast back when it was all tech. We did entertainment. Now everybody does entertainment, and there's some tech. That's a whole other thing. And so I was doing all this stuff. I'm like, I have to do this stuff. Now, I got into podcasting because I was studying for the bar exam, and I was mentally just. Thanks, Rob. I was losing my absolute mind when it came to the bar exams. I'm like, I have to have a creative outlet, and my creative outlet was podcasting. I saw a bunch of people online. I'm like, hey, those guys are podcasting. I can do that. Maybe I wasn't as nice as that. I wasn't like, those guys are podcasting. If they can do it, I can do it. Some of that is hubris, and some of that is hubris the right word there? What define hubris? Hubris, excessive pride or self confidence. Yeah, it was hubris. I had hubris. I thought, hey, I can do this stuff. How bad am I at this? So I learned everything I could about video. While I was actually doing audio, then I made podcasts. I published them. I had RSS feeds. I believe the RSS feed I used to do it by hand because this is the old days, and there weren't a lot of tools, and podcasting was brand new. So I voiced it to do that. Then there was like get into video. So I did that. It's like, hey, you love technology, do technology, great. And so I got in technology as a profession somewhere around 2008 or so. Yeah, 2008, I think. And I got to run a website. I was a thank you, Tom. This whole nerd. Yeah, so we'll get to that in a second because we got some stuff to figure out, right? I did this video stuff, and sorry, I was editing a tech website while I was in law school. Oh no, I finished law school. I was editing a tech website, and then I started doing video for them. I started doing video for other companies, and I was enjoying this. I left that site to do tech news with Randall Bennett. I was doing Tech V, a short-lived startup, and it was 2 or 3 video updates a day. I would shoot them right to camera. I'd write the scripts. I'd do everything, and we'd shoot it. I'd upload it. We'd make sure it was running, and that was fun. And it was enjoyable. And it lasted a whopping 6 months because Randall wanted to pull the plug on it. If he wants to pull the plug, it's his company. I have to go. So then I retired from technology for like a minute. And then I had this screaming voice in my head. Hey, man, why don't you go back into this? And that's where this old nerd came from because I was just flat out watching TV and just thinking, hey, man, there's all of these freaking tech projects and they're around the house. And I'm just going to start shooting it. I'm just going to start shooting what I'm doing in this home to make it more tech forward. Because the thing about technology for me is that it's a tool. I want to use this stuff to get somewhere else. I do not necessarily care about the technology inherently. It's not like, oh, I'm fascinated with how electrons flow, and that's how electricity works. And then these transistors, and they're microscopic, and they're so what 4 nanometer processes and all this other stuff. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't. It's technologically a marvel that's interesting. However, I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing is automated and that chip that's running everything doesn't overheat and is reliable. I want to make sure the machine I'm using to as a tool to get somewhere is going to do what I want it to do. So I got into tech video, started doing this whole nerd. I got a job at PC Mag. I left that job for Twit, went to Twit, basically reinvented this whole nerd into know-how, did a how-to show live and everything, right? And then I decided to leave for lots of reasons that I'll explain when we're all older or drunker or all in the same physical room. So I was at CNET for 8.5 years. So that fast forward to June, I'm out as of June 16th. So what do I do now? What on earth do I do now? I mean, I am a lot older. My priorities have shifted. I don't know if I want to do tech full time. Do I want to do my own videos? This is the thing that I've been kicking around, and I don't know if I want to do it. Do I want to do live streams only? That's pretty easy to do. It's just, obviously I might make myself look more presentable. Live streams are a little bit easier when it comes to everything because you can just leave the mistakes in, right? You can just say what you want and then it just sits there. And if there's a mistake, you move on or you go, hey, that was a mistake, you go ahead. But when you're editing a video or you're producing a video and then you see a mistake, either you got to reshoot or do something else because those mistakes aren't tolerated, or you got to put up a big disclaimer saying, whoops, I done effed up. So I've got this new apartment now and it's not that exciting. It's not like, oh wow, look at this place. It's good. It's modest and it can work for what I need to do. And there are some projects I want to do. I had to build this little mini studio, and this thing is kind of a joke. If you see what it looks like on the other side, there's a camera and a tiny prompter. And right now, everything is attached to these desk-mounted poles instead of there being tripods on the floor. Because to get to the kitchen, you have to go past this stuff. Hey, what up, Chase? What up, Tom? What up, Steven? What up, Rob? I haven't said hello, everybody. Do what you enjoy doing. See, that's a great statement. Now, that's the thing. What do I enjoy doing? I don't even know anymore. I look, when I was doing a day job at CNET, I'm doing this stuff every day, right? I came in and I wanted to make these exceptional videos. I wanted to make video that I was passionate about. I wanted to make these things that I would love to watch. And then when we found out I was really great at, I'm not streaming on Twitch right now. I'm just streaming on YouTube. What I was great at is quickly making videos about news things and summarizing things. And I was really good at that. So I would be given these assignments and I would do them and I would get them done and we'd do them over and over and over again. And my personal satisfaction wasn't getting there. I wasn't enjoying certain things. That's why I started doing independent work again around 2016. I started messing around with my podcast. I'm like, well, I'm not making the stuff I truly enjoy. I'm not saying that what I did was bad work. I loved the work I was doing. I loved the products I was putting out there. The vast majority of them anyway. I loved the output I did because it was some fun stuff. But I want to, like, one of the reasons why I did technology instead of law, my background's in law, is because I loved technology. That's why I did that. I wanted to be happy. So I chose, hey, that's what I love to do. That's what I want to talk about. This is all I want to talk about. Let's talk about tech. Let's leave the law behind and move forward. So then there's a reality of that, right? What do I want to do? What's being happy? What do I enjoy? What am I going to do? Let's talk about this in different stages. And I'm hoping somebody else is watching. If you're watching this recorded later, definitely hit me up on Twitter or write comments on this to tell me what you think I should be doing for the next, I don't know, several years, because I don't actually know what I want to do. I am pursuing several paths at the same time. Anytime I'm in this scenario where I don't know what I want to do, I do three things. So let's say this is all hypothetical, even though I said I'd done this before. This isn't so bad. I got to make sure I say this very carefully. When I am feeling dissatisfied with what I'm doing, I usually do a couple things. One, I decide I will keep my ears open for opportunities. That's one. Two, I will do and throw as much stuff as I can at the place I work at and come up with as many ideas as I can. So at least I can find some of that satisfaction in where I am. And if I can be fed with that, great. And if not, that's fine too. I will take that stuff that I'm not being fed with and do independent work. So there's the three-pronged approach when I do anything. It's keep my eyes and ears open, throw myself into work, and if there's more left over, put some stuff on the side. Sounds great. So I've been doing tech for so long, and I've been at CNET for so long. And I'm like, okay, now what? What do I really want to do? Because I've kind of, I took my hobby, I made it a job, and that was great. And nothing was wrong with that. I think everyone should do that. I think not everyone. I think for a lot of people, it's a great idea. But I've done it. Now what? I don't know what I want to do. A part of me just says, hey, look, just get a job for like insurance purposes, even though I have insurance through my wife right now. So thanks to her for that happening. Make sure that there's income, obviously. That's obviously important, because as much as I want to think about being happy, as much as I want to satisfy my artist soul, right, all that other stuff, my priorities have shifted greatly in the last 12 years. And that's because my son exists and he's 12 now. And for me, it's more important that he grows up healthy and happy and has the tools I didn't have as a child, builds tools so he can really enjoy his life. I want him to, take on life not like I did, which is like this chip on the shoulder. My parents want me to do one thing, I'm going to go against it and I have to fight for everything I want. That's exhausting, guys. It's super exhausting when you have to fight everybody just to get what you want. It's like, hey, look, I want to be able to do uh, technology discussions or something, right? And your parents are telling you, no, you got to be a lawyer or a doctor. Now, look, would being a doctor put me in a better position at this point? Mom, if you're there, you're probably right. I should have been a doctor because here's the thing. Doesn't matter where you go, your skills are transferable. You can go to any country, you can go to any place on the planet. If there's a human being, you know how to help them. And I think that is a monstrously important thing that I wish they had, you know, put into my head somewhere, but I don't know if I would have listened. Because when I was a kid, I wanted to be a comic book artist because I love comic books. And then my folks were like, no, my mom in particular was like, no, you can't be a comic book artist because you'll starve. Maybe I could have used some of that. But that's not what happened. So I went into biology with my degree because lawyer, doctor. Then I went to law school because my grades sucked, and I didn't dig. Um, I didn't dig. I didn't really dig medicine. I loved watching biology stuff on Discovery Channel or science that level. But like I was telling you earlier, like I don't really care about how stuff works. That's the problem with me. I want stuff to work, and I'm gonna brute force it. I'm gonna rig stuff to work. Now, granted, that you could do that. That's like being a mechanic. I I went to automotive school for a year. I got a certificate in automotive repair. And that's 2001. So like it's been 21 years since I got that. So I'm pretty sure the skills I have are not applicable to modern cars because I can go off on a tangent about modern cars, but that's a whole other thing. So, like I'm saying, it's exhausting to fight for all that stuff, and I did it. Okay, I did the law stuff. I have a retirement paper somewhere here. I retired from the bar association because I'm not a lawyer anymore. I'm not practicing. So why am I paying the dues? I'm retired there, and I think that going into tech was really fun. I got a question for Chase here. I'm pretty ignorant on lawyer things, perhaps doing a live stream around current lawyer events. It's going to be a fun switch up talking about this Twitter merger. Ha. Well, let's talk about the law. I find law fascinating. I find the arguments really fun. I find the work really fun. I found the schooling fun. I found a lot of it just to be mind opening, and the my favorite kind of law was tax law because the arguments involved with money are the most creative arguments you will see. There's two fields of law which I think were interesting to me was constitutional law and tax law. And the weird thing is constitutional law has um, you have like one document and you have these amendments and that's your law, right? And there's like millions of that's an exaggeration. There's so many cases about this one document and how to construe it, right? And then you got tax law, right? Tax code is freaking extensive. There's like two massive volumes. This is back when I was studying, and 6 volumes of regulations. The regulations modify and clarify the sections in the tax code. They have it appears to be this almost the same amount of litigation because the arguments when it comes to your constitutional rights, which are very important, I'm not going to get into that right now. And the arguments you have about money, people fight tooth and nail and come up with the most creative crap in the world and structures in tax law. I loved that stuff. However, the reason why I didn't go into it is that it's actually there's a big reason why. There was a huge economic crash when I finished school, and the market was being flooded by high level people competing with entry level people, and done. So that was that, and I got a job in technology, and that took off. So I went with that. I don't know if I want to talk about law forever. There's all kinds of people out there who are much better suited than that. You can check out Evan Brown. He's over. He used to. I don't know if he still does it. He used to do a show called This Week in Law with Denise, whose last name is escaping me right now. I'm sorry, Denise. I know it's in here. I'll figure it out. But I don't know. I find maybe this is about me. I find listening to myself or listening to a lawyer talk is like, I don't want to hear this. It's always doom and gloom. It's like almost like listen to a plumber tell you what's wrong with your system. You're like, oh man, that sucks. What can I do about it? It's like, well, you could do nothing, and there's going to be poop everywhere, or you could do something, and it's going to cost you like this, or it might take a long time. But eventually there's going to be poop everywhere if you don't fix it. So uh, it's just too damn depressing. So I think while I'm still yammering here, you guys are here, all this old nerd. You guys know about it. If you don't know about it, it's a show I used to do that was just about tech projects. And the whole gimmick was I would take on a project that was doing in real life. And that was usually the big key here. It was a real life project. I'm not like making stuff up for a show. That is not how that show worked. It was simply, I'm doing this thing. And now I will show you that I'm doing this thing. And I lost my train of thought. Was this one? It was a show about tech projects around the house, and the idea is that your tech life could be better, your home could be better, your standard of living could be better using technology. And I loved that idea because you're always iterating, right? You're always changing your stuff. You're always looking at something else, even though your system might be really great. That's great for now, but what happens when I don't know, Logitech Harmony goes extinct? You can't there to see this remote. I've had this remote forever, and the thing is, Logitech is going to be dumping Harmony. And they say they'll support it for a long time. Harmony is a universal remote system. So if you've got, let's say, an AV receiver and multiple components attached to it, you hit like one button and it goes to the Apple TV. You hit another button, it goes to the Xbox. That's great. You don't have to go, okay, make sure that the receiver is set to game input 2, and then make sure the television is still an HDMI 1, and we're good. Although now that I think about it, you probably could just control everything through the AVR. That's a whole other thing, right? Because you can use HDMI CEC to control other components if your stuff supported. In other words, the Harmony stuff took all of that pain points. They took all the pain points out, but this stuff's going away. Okay, so you might have a great system right now, and it works great right now, but you should be looking how to future-proof stuff. Yeah, you got a Plex server right now, and it's 12 terabytes. Fantastic. Did you back that up? Did you cloud back it up? Because I didn't. My Plex server got borked in the move. Did I move that thing personally and put it in a backpack that was in my backpack, and I was in a car with it? Yeah. Did it die anyway? Yeah. Not backed up. So that would be a project I'd be taking on, how to build a Plex server and how to make sure you have it backed up so this doesn't happen to you, because it is maddening to lose your Plex server. If you don't have a Plex server, I'll explain what it is. It's just all your media on a server that you can access in your home. It's all local. Okay. You can use a lot of different front ends. I use Plex for that, and I liked it. It did metadata management. TV stuff is here. You had your movies here. Loved it. Right. I have redone my Plex system in Manhattan at least 4 times. I've only lived in Manhattan for the past like 8-9 years. So hey, what's up, Robal GB? I hope I said that right. Yeah, Rob. It's bad enough when you lose one file. I lost so many terabytes. Now I have an 8 terabyte version of my library. I have an 8 terabyte version of my library that I transferred to the 12 terabyte version. So I have a backup, kinda, but it's not great. So in other words, I would explain all this during the show. Here's what happened to me. Here's what you need to avoid. What is the best way for you to back it up? Here's what I can do right now, because my budget is limited right now. Because the thing I want to do, and you guys have probably seen this. If you haven't, I would link to it. Not that you need it for me. Linus Tech Tips has a great video on a Synology NAS that has Plex built in, because stuff has changed a lot since I was doing this. I built my own server. I was using my Shield TV because I thought, okay, it's a low power device. I can run a server all day on a low power device, and it's not going to cost me a lot of electric bills. That's great. Except the way Android works and the way that thing works, it's not as, it's not as simple as, one moment, please. Real life is coming up. Um, yeah, so I can't afford that giant Synology NAS system. I would like to, but the thing would cost about $1,600. Okay, and when you're in my current situation and you're like, hey, I don't have a gig. Well, tell you what, if you don't have a gig, you're not going to spend $1,600 on a media server, because it is absolutely nuts to spend that money on that, because you might have, I don't know, an unforeseen medical emergency or unforeseen anything. So maybe now is not the time for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a completely crappy, good enough for right now. Hope to make it something like Linus's at some point. But right now, I got to do this Plex server because there's a lot of crap out there that I don't have on streaming services. I've got a lot of the streaming services. Anyway, the whole point was I'm telling you what this whole nerd was. This whole nerd was about these projects, and you're always looking for the future, always looking at what you should be doing, what other steps. And the thing is, do you guys want to see that? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it, but do you guys want to see these projects happen from start to finish? Do you want to help figure out what the problems were, what improvements can be made? I'm very curious about that. Yes, I'm talking to a very small audience. Yes, I do care about your opinion. That matters to me because if you guys are actually interested, maybe I'll do it. I don't know if I'm interested in it. That's the thing. Like, do I want to watch those videos anymore? Do I have a space in my head that says, I can do this better? The thing you're going to get from me is you're going to get something. Okay, well, that's one vote. Thanks, Rob. 50% of the audience has said they want me to do this old nerd. And if Tom is still here, then that would be 100% of the audience wants me to still do this old nerd. So maybe I'll do it. Still have to get a haircut on Thursday. So maybe after my haircut, I might start shooting some stuff. Consider paying you to do projects for us. I mean, I don't want the liability of effing up your systems. So like, maybe. But the thing is, if I was doing this old nerd, I would have to. There's always this fun stuff. It's like there's that paralysis. If I'm doing this old nerd, what do I got to do? Make sure the site's running fine. Thisoldnerd.com. Make sure, and it's not because it's freaking old and it's running. It's got embeds for blip.tv, a site that no longer exists. I need to put the YouTube embeds there. So I can do that. And then what else could I do? What else could I do? I'd have to make sure the site's up to speed, and then I have to make the projects, and I have to actually shoot the projects. And one of the problems with shooting projects at all is that it slows you down from actually completing the project, which is frustrating at times because you just want to be done with whatever horrible stuff is happening. But I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if I always had this test in my head. What would I do if I had infinite money? And years ago, infinite money meant that I would do, I'll just flat out say it, like I would do what Leo did. I thought he had a great kind of system. He comes into his own studio and people like turn on the lights and stuff. And then he can sit down and then he can talk about what he wants. It didn't matter what topic he wanted to talk. He could talk to all these experts about it. Sounds really great. Fantastic. Talking about tech, talking about security with Steve Gibson, talking tech news with Tom Merritt and Sarah Lane, Jason Howell. Sounds great. Talking to a different panel about the bigger scale stuff on This Week in Tech. Sounds great. Talking about Mac stuff. Sounds great. iPad stuff. Great stuff. All fun stuff, right? Sounds great. So I went there and it was great. So I did it already. So granted, it wasn't my stuff, but it was great walking in on this turnkey system. I walked in, it was fantastic. So do I want that now? Not really. I don't necessarily need or want to talk about this. And this is the weirdest thing that's happening as I've gotten older. I'm kind of curious what's happening to you guys. I don't want to talk about stuff anymore. I have a finite amount of time left on this planet, right? I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to just keep yammering and yammering and yammering. Because even these live streams are kind of like a mind-bending situation for me. It's like, why am I talking about this? Arguably, I'm saying this so I can talk to somebody else and go, hey, what do you guys think I should do? Because if you're watching this, you might watch other stuff. And if you do watch other stuff, then great. Maybe you want me to do that. And then I'm going to be like, hey, can you put money towards Patreon over there so I can keep doing them? And then do I want to do it just for the money, or am I doing it because I love the projects? I don't know. That's the thing. I want to enjoy what I'm doing, and I want to make sure that I'm getting quality content to the viewer. And this is something I really, as I'm saying this out loud, I'm actually figuring this out. So thanks for being here so far, because I'm really enjoying figuring this out with you. Because as I'm talking, as you're writing, it is sparking some stuff. To make the content that I would watch, to make exclusively the content I would watch, is such an interesting idea to me. Again, do I want to do that? And also, do I want to watch anything? I guess this is part of the other thing. I don't know if I want to watch anything anymore. I'm watching right now Ultimate X-Men pitch meeting compilation. They're fun. They're fantastic. And no, I will never flog any NFTs. If you're going to buy something from me, it's going to be fungible. As in, it'll be like a t-shirt and it'll say IAS on it. And there could be one, and there could be 10 million of them. And they're all the same. completely fungible. If you want a token, you can put my face and you can strike it on a coin. Fantastic. Non fungible? No way. Fungible? All the way. That's right. It's all the same. It's all, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to be doing that. Oh. Yeah. So if I'm going to be doing these videos, if I'm going to be doing this old nerd, if I'm going to bother with that work, it won't be on this channel. It'll be over on the Finite Comedy channel, and I will be putting it where it used to be. And then I'd have to. What do I? So here's the projects I need to do. Like I said, Plex server is one of them. What else I have to do? I had to build this little crappy studio to show that. And one of the weird things I used to do when I was doing this on nerd back then, I didn't have a time goal. And I know a lot more about analytics and algorithms and blah, blah, blah over the years. And I still don't care about that personally. If the content is good, if the person you want to watch is somebody you enjoy watching, you're going to watch it. If you don't have millions of ads, that's great too. So the project dictates the length of the video, not the other way around. The length of the video does not dictate the project. So I would need to do some thinking. So there would be the Plex server, which is not online. There's the streamlining of my home theater system. I used to have a lot more components. I've pulled a lot of them out. Now, I don't know how much of that you want to watch me explain why I chose this, why I chose to go wireless over there in the home theater system, which I really don't like doing, but that's a physical constraint, which I need to correct for, because this place is not set. Oh man, I got to figure that out too. But once you start introducing hardwired Ethernet to your home theater system, you are now adding a cable to every single component. As you're doing that, you're getting a lot more mess back there. I'm talking about the home theater system itself. So I could talk. That's another big one. Why I pared back. Why wireless is good enough for right now. Yes, it goes against what I used to love, but it is practical, and that's what's annoying about it. Practicality will beat quality in this case, kind of like how MP3s won, because it was all squished and everything, but they were small files and everybody can get them. And I'm old because way back in the day, I used to buy music. So that's how it all works. I've been so not disconnected. I've been so mired in tech news. I know you said, Rob, that you like the tech news, the news scanning. I could do that. That's the thing. I don't know how much of a I don't know how much of the news I want to get into. As I'm looking at the news, as I was doing earlier today, you know, there's so much noise, right? And one of the things I prided myself on with my reporting and my videos is that I filtered the noise. There's a lot of sources out there. There's a lot of nonsense out there, and there's a lot of spectacular wording, and there's some inaccurate wording and all that stuff, right? And I wanted to make sure that when you watch a video of mine, that you were getting as close to the truth as you could get. It's going to be the truth. And I say close to the truth because if I missed something, it's on me. And if there's a rumor that doesn't pan out, because I was covering rumor stuff, yeah, well, I'm trying my best to get you the best sources. So, oh boy, my smart home make me live. Oh, my smart boy make live streams. I don't know about that. Yeah, so that's the thing. So I've got to balance that. So the thing is, do I want to have, what's the online presence I want to have? Do I want to do that work? The live stream isn't bad. I really enjoy it. I'd say do it when it interests you. It doesn't have to be the IS News Network every stream. Interesting. I think that I could provide something. So let me ask you, Rob. You've been watching this stuff. You're a mod, I think, over on Twitch. Would it make more sense to have like a prepared show, as in like I'm looking at I have like 3 or 4 stories I think are really great to talk about, or do you want to go through the how the sausage is made kind of stuff where it's just flat out you're seeing you're seeing the feeds, I'm going off on a tangent, you guys are talking whenever, like is what do you want to see? Because I don't know if that's something that people want to watch. And also, how long do you want to watch that? Because if it's just me going through the news and we're talking about that for an hour, yeah, I can do that for an hour. I can talk it definitely. Like I said, I am getting tired of talking though. Not now. I'm just getting tired of talking about stuff that has been done, or there's a viewpoint that you can totally get from somewhere else. I'm gonna say to be unhelpful and say both. That is not helpful, but it's helpful. Podcast. Would you actually want to listen to me talk by myself for an hour? That's the other thing. Like, I can, and I think my child can attest to that. He's definitely heard me talk for an hour. My wife has to. I can just talk indefinitely, which is a good new subscriber, long time follower. Hey, B Mac, thank you for being here. And Che and Rob and everybody in my magic mirror. If you don't know what a magic mirror is when it comes to this, I am very old. Look up Romper Room, and you will know. That's the other thing. So I've gotten really old, right? I'm 42. I'm going to be 43 this year. And I'm a dad. My kid's 12, turned 12. Okay. Um, I've lived a while, and my interests have changed. I'm sure that happens to everybody. I'm not going to appeal to like a bunch of kids who are going to be like, yeah, that guy is cool. I've never been cool in my life. It's never happened. It's never happened. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it now. I wasn't cool with it when I was a kid, but I'm fine with it now. I'm not a cool person. So I'm not going to appeal to everybody. And I'm okay with that. And the thing about this, and I'm hoping you're getting out of this, if you're watching this right now, what I hope you're getting out of this is that this person is almost exactly the same as the guy that was telling you all that tech news for years. I'm almost the same, except I'm a little bit more hesitant. I'm a little bit more thoughtful because I don't have words in front of me. I would write my scripts, I would pour over them, I'd research them, double check, triple check, quadruple check, and then I'd be able to read and just go for my own scripts, right? Because that way I was giving you accurate information that I was highly pruning, making sure that it's really the closest, the best thing I could give you, right? Versus being live, I'm a little bit different and I'm a little bit more intense. That's the other thing. I think my intensity might be something that people get to see. If you've met me in real life, you know that I can either be silent, I can be talkative, I can be just ridiculous. Don't okay. Let's talk about what Che has right. Don't pull negative points. Always be positive because you might find stuff that may change you that may change you even more, like from real life to social media life. Yeah, maybe. That's the thing. I not being negativity is very easy and it definitely gets people's attention. Like I could be like, well, Cody media servers sucks and that's why Plex is amazing. Put down something to get people's attention. I mean, I don't see the need for that. I think what I would be doing is the most pure IAS you've seen since This Old Nerd. And This Old Nerd was actually me turned up a little bit, by the way. I was more confident in that video than I was in real life about what I was doing because I wanted to appear supremely confident. And that character was. And every time I would edit, there was a weird mental separation that This Old Nerd guy was a little bit more confident. So the thing is, though, I have gotten older and I am more confident in what I know and what I don't know. And so because of all of that, the version of This Old Nerd you're going to get would be very similar to what you're seeing now. It'd be like, all right, guys, today we are building a Plex server. Well, I'm building a Plex server for the 5th time, and here's why. And then I'll tell you the story why it all broke down, and then I'd say, here's what happened. And for this project, here's what we're going to need. Tons of research, a hard drive. However you're getting your content, I'm not going to explain how you get your content. Okay? It could be any media you want. You make sure you're doing the right things. I wouldn't have to worry about the legal disclaimers as much as if I was working for a big corporation. It's like, hey guys, you know what not to do. Don't blame me. Don't you understand stuff. So I guess get your legal eagle hat on when you go ahead and do that. You're also going to need electricity, whatever else you're going to need for this project. And then we're going to build it. Okay. And why I chose this WD book. Why did I pick the Western Digital drive? Because it was on sale. And all I need is a hard drive that's going to survive a year or two. And I say that because I've had hard drives that die earlier. Because what we're going to do is we're going to combine this hard drive and whatever machine we're going to use an old laptop as the server. We're going to make sure it's backing up to Backblaze. Now, Backblaze is not a sponsor of this video or any video I've ever done. But as far as I'm concerned, after all of the reading I've done, I think Backblaze might be the best backup system for the dollar I can find, as long as you're just backing up one system. And I would be doing just that. And getting your data back takes a long time, but I will take time. I'll take the amount of time it takes to get it back versus never getting it back or having a second backup that's always running, because that can get costly. Because now I have to have two machines. I got to make sure they're on. They shouldn't be on site. All that stuff. So we'd run through going ahead, setting up Plex, which everyone has seen, and then what else would happen? We'd show you streaming on the television. There it is. We got Plex Media Server on the Mac laptop. We've got Plex on Shield. Make sure Plex is running on the Apple TV and the Roku because we always have backup of the home theater system. I'll explain that later. They all run fine. Here are my playlists. This is great. I can go ahead and watch Frasier at night and not have the loud episodes because I go to sleep and Frasier's on. Why do I do that? I can explain that later too. So that's basically what the show would be like. Okay, this is me talking, and wouldn't there'd be B-roll, and I'd be moving around, and you'd be actually seeing the stuff and everything. It just wouldn't be this because this, look, as lovely as this is, it's not like the thing that's gonna wow a guy sitting in a chair. That's good video because otherwise this should just be audio. Now, granted, I could make this only an audio podcast as well. I think the visuals matter, and I like video because video can show you stuff. But whatever. So let me take a look at what's going on in the chat because you guys have been talking, and I really appreciate that. So let's see what we got here. I'll second Rob's unhelpful suggestion. I like both. I like a podcast, and I like a live show from time to time from the podcast creators. Lots of my favorite content of both. Okay. Rob watched an Adam Savage video earlier today where he said, if you don't know which oath to follow, just start out and adjust as necessary. Okay. Now I see the correction is path. Oath is interesting as a typo, but path, interesting as well. Yeah, I can see that. If you don't know which path to follow, go ahead. That's something like I'm saying. I completely understand and subscribe to that philosophy. Just start doing the stuff. And I didn't freeze. I mean, I froze, but the video didn't freeze. I'm trying to decide which path to bother with because let's say I shoot all this stuff and everything, and then I start editing. I guess I could put it out. It's just the way I introduced this old nerd. The way I started this whole thing way back when is that I shot and produced 3 episodes before I released the first episode. So I had runway, I had time, could do more projects because I was working on other projects. So you had a weekly schedule and you weren't missing out. Now, I could do like longer monthly videos or something. So there's like, okay, there's this stuff, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm I've got an M1 Mac Mini, right? And I use Premiere. Now, like I said, I have an M1 Mac Mini. Maybe I should move to Final Cut Pro because Final Cut Pro works better on a Mac Mini and it's supposed to be on an M1. And maybe that's the way I should go. Maybe I should change my workflow. But the other side of me is like, hey, if I change the workflow, then I got to relearn everything. It's going to take me a lot longer. But in the long term, it's going to be a lot less money. Blah, 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 blah. Paralysis. Let's see. That's a great idea. Wouldn't it be great? Like opening groups and communities on social media that will promote you even more. I don't know, Che. I don't know exactly what idea we're talking about because I've been talking about a lot of stuff. For live streams, get some stream beats. I don't know what that means. Some news and a lot of opinion. In the end, we are here for you. You could get news or how-to videos from anyone. Oh, good point. Let's make a fresh start with a new announcement, like a short trailer about the changes coming up, but without changing, then prepare to schedule everything. On a side note, there's so much stuff to do. There's another project to tell us about. Yeah, man, music for the background. I guess I could do that. Do people do that with live streams? They put audio in the background. There's live streaming live streaming music. You guys have a lot of ideas. Okay. You'd watch this? All right. I guess it's possible. Fresh start with a new announcement, like a short trailer with the changes. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I can't make an announcement or a real trailer without knowing what I want to do. And until then, I think I'll just do these live streams. Maybe I'll make them daily. The thing about I can run into DMCA issues with music. I can make my own music. Horrible music. If you haven't watched Spike Kitchen, I have so many songs that are on there that are ridiculous. So I could put music underneath, and I've made them myself. And it could drive you away. And I actually do sing on some of them, which is just horribly bad. And that was the point. Maybe I'll return to that. It was a completely silly show. I don't know, man. It's tough. This might be my midlife crisis. Like, what do you do now? Huh? You do video? What if I don't want to do video? What if I want to work at Andy's Deli? What if I want to just do video on the side? Again, that's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to commit, I should commit, right? I should really go back into it. Like, let's go. I'm excited. That's the thing. I want to do what I'm excited about. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what I'm excited to do. Sports car, it is. Yeah, midlife crisis. Yeah, gonna get a sports car. Yeah, that would be my crisis. I would not be buying a car. My midlife crisis. This this is my dream. So as you guys are here, you've made it 45 minutes into this stream. This is the last thing I'll talk about. It's almost 2 p.m. at the time I'm recording this on the East Coast. Here's my dream. You know that scene at the end of Infinity War where Thanos is at his little cabin and he sits like on the stoop and he just sighs a sigh of relief. He's got a little smile. That's what I want. That excites me. That would be my midlife crisis. Like, hey, man, that's it. I'm out. I am going not to a farm, although maybe I'll grow something. I'll go somewhere. I'll be able to just live off the land. The work is done, and I can just be. Not worry about, um, I guess my case, worry about the college education of my son, which is very important, or the graduate school he would do or not. I don't have to worry about health insurance, which would be very important. So maybe I would be doing this sighing in another country where they have health insurance for all. Um, but the thing is, so here's the thing: I can't go after that, and here's why. Here's the fun thing: I can't go after that. I've got I've got a wife and kids. A kid, excuse me. My wife has a career and she wants to do that career. So I can't be like, hey, I want to retire now. Come with me out of the country so we can have health insurance and I can sit on a stoop. You can't do that yet. All right. It's just not the right time. My kid's only 12. I can't be like, hey, man, can't go to school because I want to sit on a stoop. That makes no sense. Can't do it. So I think that maybe a sports car is the way to go because I can get a sports car and I can still have all that stuff going, except I won't be able to afford stuff and it would be a just total disaster. So maybe I won't get a sports car. Maybe I'll look at a sports car. Maybe that's what I'll do. I will not be getting a sports car. I won't be maybe I'll get a tattoo, but I've been kicking that around for like 10 years though. So who knows? Let's see. What else could I do as an old man? I could get my face pulled back like that. I could get, or I could get hair plugs because my hairline's receding. That's fun. I got the bald spot back there that you can't see. So I don't know. So I guess I'll be doing the I don't know stream for a while, and then I will then know. And once I'm on the no stream, you'll be like, oh, great, here we go. I would also probably definitely. A long time ago, I pitched this stupid idea. I want to say this out loud because I haven't said this to anyone outside of my immediate family. A long time ago, I had this idea. How about we ran episodes of This Old Nerd at Twit? I'm like, okay, so we'll just run them there. And then the pushback was, hey, those aren't live. Our thing was live. So I'm like, hey, what we do is we run them, right? And then we're in the chat so we can talk to people as it's happening. And then after we can do like a live post show. I'm like, well, I don't know who's anybody's going to watch that. And I'm like, this is like 2013. No, 2011. And I'm like, oh my God, looking back, I'm like, I pitched YouTube premieres and a watch party and like an after show. That's all. I pitched that stupid stuff 10 years ago. I'm like, crap, 11 years ago. I'm like, I should have done that because it's a thing now. Like, yeah, so maybe that's what I should do. I have no idea. So thank you for joining me on the I Don't Know stream. Maybe I'll call it that. To Mystery Science Theory. Yeah, we could have done that. What was I going to say? Later today, I'll be on Tom Merritt's Daily Tech News Show. I believe it's at 4:30 daily. Let me check. Why do I not know the name at the time? I'll tell you why in a second. I don't know the time because what time is this thing anyway? Because I'm going to be on at 4. Oh, it starts at 4. Okay, good. Yeah, 4 o'clock Eastern. So I'll be on there later today at twitch.tv/gooddayinternet. So go there later today if you want to hear me talk about tech news. I have to read about it. I got to know what we're talking about, and I'll have my opinion. It'll look a lot like this, except my hair will be a little bit better. And I'll be chatting to Tom and Sarah and Roger and whomever's there at the time. I'll be live streaming that time. I'll also be back on the 26th on the Daily Tech News Show. Go check that out. I'm also, I think I can say this out loud. I'm going to be doing a top 5 series for a website, and we'll see how that goes. When that goes live, I will definitely explain, hey, here it is, because if if it falls through, you guys would be like, well, what the heck? So I actually am trying to do little things as I'm moving forward. So I'm not like completely paralyzed, but these are like my little irons in the fire, and I don't have I don't know what the metaphor is. So we'll find that out. So we talked a lot of stuff, folks. Thank you. Okay, so you guys, Che, Rob, B Mac, Tom, Chase. If I didn't say Rob, I'll say it again. You guys or people. I shouldn't say guys, but you whatever. All of you. I appreciate all of the feedback, all the comments, all the just the advice, because this is going to be a fun time for me, because it has to be. I can't let it suck. And you guys are making it really easy for it to be fun. So thanks for that. As for live streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, that would be really helpful if I could do that. I could probably mess with OBS. If I did OBS, I have to make sure that OBS is working with YouTube, with I think it's RTMP, and it's Twitch. I don't know where else I would stream. Those would be the two that I'd be really aware of. Chase could probably help me figure that out. That could be useful. So if your name is Chase, if any of you watching is named Chase, you might need to help me out with that. Also, we need to create the I forget what they're called. What? I forgot what they're called, but I gotta create scenes so that way, like, here's my face, and then here's the chat, and here's the other thing, and like, that's the other thing. I don't know. So, which chat would you put up on screen? How would you do both? Can you have the YouTube chat up as well as the Twitch chat up? Should you have them up at the same time? Should you just have, I mean, how else can you show the audience what you're responding to? Because right now on YouTube, this is just, I'm on the browser, hit the camera, we're good to go. On Twitch, at least there's a built-in Twitch studio, so I can make the scenes and plug the chat in. You can do both. I guess you could do screen captures of parts of your desktop. I don't know if the M1 is going to survive that. I don't know how powerful a thing I need. So I might go, and Twitch allows a plugin to show chat on screen, but yeah, I don't think, yeah, YouTube doesn't let you do that right now. So I think what I would do is start slow. I think what I would do is I would make sure I could simulcast on both platforms. I would have both chats up at the same time so I could respond to it. Yes, it's more helpful than to be on screen, but no, I can't have that right now. So right now I won't worry about that. So we'll build together. So what I probably will do right after this stream is ending, as I said it would end 7 minutes ago, and I lied because it's still happening. So as it's still happening, I think what I'll do right after this is kind of map out the steps I would need to make a live stream schedule a reality, and what topics I would want to discuss on certain days. Because if you guys don't know this, I like more than technology. Yes, I do have an interest in the law, and yes, I understand that that's polarizing. And yes, I wouldn't want to cross the streams when it comes to the viewers. I don't want you guys to be like, oh, what the heck? Why is he talking about? He's talking about Section 401k, which is actually, that's why it's called a 401k. Why is he talking about the tax code today? It's like, well, because that's not going to be the same thing as when we're talking about, I don't know what do I mean, game streaming. I find game streaming to be quite interesting. I find this thing fascinating. So maybe we talk about that. So cooking, yes, there's cooking that I would do. I will tell you that I have a terribly small ability to cook. I was going to say kitchen. The kitchen's actually not bad. I'd have to set up little cameras there. We could cook live, and I would call it Spite Kitchen Live. And if you're watching this person, Spite Kitchen, if you don't know, by the way, I started this show at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was just called Spite Kitchen. The idea was, why it's called Spite Kitchen is that I wanted my friend to start their own cooking channel. This person is immensely talented and should start their own cooking channel, but they didn't. So I decided to make a cooking channel to spite them. They had to watch this terrible show until they came out with their own channel. I got to a whopping 3 episodes and stopped. Now, granted, the 3rd episode was 3 hours long, but you see how that works. Anyway, I will make sure to use catchphrases. Do I know you? I might actually know you, by the way. I don't have a catchphrase other than I have my sign off of I as actor, I'll see you online. I've got my this old nerd one, which was like, how's your tech life? It could be better. Yes, I know the guy from Wonder Woman says something similar. Yes, I had before he did. And no, I won't be changing what I say about that. And Pablo Pascal, if you're watching this, I don't blame you for taking my lines, Patty Jenkins, I mean, look, they're not that creative a line, so I don't blame you either. So I blame you guys for so many other things though. The quality of Wonder Woman 84. That's yeah, we'll talk about movies other days. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'm gonna take a look at my mapping, and I got my new iPad case. This is my iPad. I've had this iPad for a while, but I got a new case because my old case. This is my old case. This thing is tough and rugged, right? But I don't go anywhere with this iPad. So why do I need a tough and rugged and heavy iPad case when I can get a thin and light? This is only $20 because I didn't want to break the bank on it. Because if I was buying one for me, by the way, it wouldn't be black. I have 5 red things. I like red. And that'll be it for the I Don't Know stream. It's been 55 minutes, 26 seconds is the time I was reading this. I really appreciate you guys for being here. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/ISIYAZ. If you are watching me here, subscribe. If you're watching me here and you think about This Old Nerd, go to thisoldnerd.com. I think it's got links. And if it doesn't, I will fix that. And we'll figure all this stuff out together. So thank you for watching. And I don't know where my delivery is. So it's not great. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see everybody next time.